Hello, and welcome to week December 25th of Wrestling in Mom's Basement. I, of course, am Patrick Young. This guy to my right has the most memorable Carmella impression you'll ever see. Joe Venuto.
How you doing?
Told you it was going to be memorable.
That's right, you didn't say good.
That's why I said memorable.
This is Wrestling Mom's Basement, week of December 25th.
I already did that.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Or if you didn't celebrate Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. I know Christmas in Hawaiian. Should I wish them a Christmas in Hawaiian?
Melikaniki Maka.
Okay.
Yeah. I know the song too.
Should I sing it to them?
No, it's alright.
Okay. This is the week of Christmas. The Christmas reviews of Raw and SmackDown. No news this week. There's just a whole bunch of injuries. I'll be covered when we get to those.
Yeah.
Superstars. And storylines.
So, two very interesting episodes of Raw and SmackDown.
For the first time in the almost 20... I don't know how to type. And for the first time almost the 25-year history of Raw, where we beef out my botches, the show was live on Christmas night. And culminated with a major title change. Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan defeated Sheamus and Cesaro win the World Tag Team Championships. On Capital and show saw Roman Reigns defended their World Championship against Joe. And John Cena made a long way return to the brain. There was not much in the way of storyline development, and the squash matches were almost overdone. But the show's solid enough holiday presentation that made sense within the context of the stories that played out late. And was at the very least most of the shows entertaining. Kick things off with John Cena's return. John Cena returned Raw for the first time since September. Kick off the Eating Central Broadcast by banging drill, surprisingly positive reaction from a notoriously tough Chicago audience.
Yeah.
Cena was in the midst of a holiday themed speech when Elias interrupted him, claiming WWE stood for Walk with Elias. Chase CM Punk interrupted Elias to his Cena insisted they let the fans have fun. When a jerk tried to play a song that insulted the city, Cena took exception and called Elias a jerk. Cena reformed Elias, reshuffled the soul, and make words kinder, only to lay Cena out with a cheap shot in the segment. The Grisham on the Night Raw issued a challenge to Cena for a match right away. For a holiday-themed segment, it would be a show, a separate match between two superstars and no backstory. This was, perfectly fine and fun. Elias is a heat magnet who will get himself back over even with a loss, and fans get the truth seeing Cena back on television. Harley Bailey started the first ever live Christmas Day episode of WWE's flagship.
Yeah, for a holiday episode, it was a fine opening segment. If it was anything else, I probably would have. I would be okay with it, but I wouldn't like
what
Cena was saying.
Yeah.
Like, instead of...
Cena was a little too happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, he was a little too happy-go-lucky. It also seemed weird. Like, it seemed a bit weird that he was calling him... That he was acting like a jerk and he was calling him out on it. Essentially.
Yeah.
That Cena's term for Elias was a jerk.
Jerk, yeah.
And I think Cena, odds are, can come up with more clever stuff than that, but...
Roman.
But it was a holiday episode, so the opener...
Roman,
in the grand scheme of opening holiday Raws, it was fine.
As Roman and Miz and AJ learned in 2017.
It may have actually been the best one.
Yeah.
The worst one was definitely Del Rio running over Santa Claus.
Mick Foley.
Yeah. That one was
bad.
Especially after Del Rio just came back from a face. He just did a face turn at that point.
Yeah, he was a face.
Yeah.
But he was a heel for that episode.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Now next, John Cena versus Elias. The Dreamer took the fight right to Cena, still reeling from the sneak attack dealt to him at the top of the show. At the same time, Corey and Booker made comparisons between the competitors, and Booker said Corey never wrestled before.
Yeah, Booker's commentary is getting a lot better.
Oh, you really think so?
No.
And then Booker made comparisons between them on how they both started out in WWE around the same time, and pointed out their musical backgrounds and how they both had success on the charts with their music. Well, Cena has success on the chart of his album.
Elias hasn't.
How do you know?
He's never been on one of the charts.
No, I think Cena and Jillian are the only two wrestlers that are chart in music.
Yeah, I think you're right.
At one point, Elias continues down over the 6-7 world champion with a set powerbomb scored a near full. Cena made a comeback in the Crowd King Live. He delivered the shoulder tackle by Elias Wiley rolled outside. Back in, he delivered a big close on left Cena on his back once again. After more dominance from Elias, was also survived 2 attempts at STF from Cena. The Superman WWE fell back hit signature onslaught and delivered I2 Justin for the pinfall victory. This was a match that felt longer than it actually was.
Yeah.
And I had the commercial-free version. I had the Hulu version.
Yeah.
So that's really a good thing. Fans got really bought into the bout, particularly because Elias has never been presented to starting mostly close to the Eagle Cena. It was always as if over the course of finishing most matches, the fans wait for an inevitable comeback. Thank God there was always academic and always right within the WWE universe.
Yeah, the match was fine. The opener kind of showed you how much stock to put in this episode, since it's sort of a better version of a holiday episode of Raw. So for an opener, this was actually fantastic. So
Next
match,
Hideo Itami versus Brian Kendrick. And Hideo Itami Seals debut role, he bet a dangerous real man for Cruiser Chamber on Kendrick. Jack Gallagher watched from ringside as Kendrick wore Tommy down early, trapping him in several submission maneuvers and attempted to keep him from firing with the strikes. That was such an integral part of his arsenal. And Tommy fought back quickly and put Kendrick away to go to sleep. Injuries, I'll cover injuries number 1 and 2 here, because all 4 are on the Raw brand. Kendrick's out with a fractured orbital bone.
Yeah.
And broken jaw.
From Hideo's GTS,
straight on his knee. And Kalisto, since he was on the show, is also injured, because last week on 205 Live, a fan threw a full water bottle at his eye.
Yeah.
I think he's back on the loop, though, this week.
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere on social media that Kalisto was in a match against Denzel.
Okay, so
at a house show. So.
Okay, so Kalisto is back, but still.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy quickly dispelled Kendrick to complete apathy from Chicago. Outside of some quiet CM Punk change, the GTS did not generate anything in the way of a pop, and the crowd soon could not care less about the foreign energy star. Perhaps it's time for him to come, given how little backstory character development he has undergone, and his jump from development to the main roster.
Well, that's the way it seems to go. They really don't explain anybody. They just show highlights of them for a vignette and then just throw them out there, and expect fans already to know who they are. Yeah, some fans will know who they are, but the casuals in the arena are not going to actually pay attention to any of that stuff.
Right.
So, I didn't actually see this match, but I'm not exactly a fan of where they're going with Hideo. It just seems like either he's lost or they don't know how to book him or whatever. I
thought he was going to come in and be a bigger star for the Cruiserweight division. It looks like he's just there to... Because the Cruiserweight division has like 11 people that they rotate. So
yeah.
That's why he fell out a new buy.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Rockstar Spud's supposed to be coming in soon too, from what I've been hearing. On to 205 Live soon too, so...
Yeah, I've been hearing that as well.
Up next, Bayley, Mickie James, and Sasha Banks versus Absolution. The more experienced trio of Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Mickie James started out quick Monday night, isolating Mandy Rose and picking the villainess apart. Well-timed left hand to Bayley, though, allowed the heels to get controlled out. A vicious, scary clothesline by Sonya Deville to the boss. Continuing Absolution's control of the belt. Paige followed up on the assault, Simon Ware, her fellow NXT alumni. The boss has several minutes on her receiving and punishment at the hands of Paige and cohorts. Mandy, in particular, was given the spotlight. And there was times where Mandy didn't look out of place, but there was all time.
I'll say that she didn't completely suck.
But there was times where she was really off, too.
Yeah. I've seen much worse out of women's wrestlers
so I will say,
in WWE.
It was a strong performance for what I had in mind for her.
Yeah.
It wasn't strong by any means, individually. But from what I had in mind for her, it was a lot better than what I thought. But she was still, you could tell she's still green and should not be on the main roster.
I think that's also the thing of where people... Like, you hear so many good reports about how Mandy's doing, and that you have something else in mind of how people are actually looking at her.
Yeah.
So, it could be something like that.
Yeah. For me, I had low expectations, though, because, I'm not trying to be mean, but once I look at her, I automatically get the typical diva prototype. Yeah. So, exactly. I hold a low standard for that type until...
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen much worse of her prototype, as it were. But yeah,
Main rosters, no.
no, she's not main roster ready at all.
Her and Sasha has chemistry. Her with Bayley was a mess.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it seems to be the par for the course for women on Raw. Usually their best opponent is Sasha.
Right. We will say Mickie, but Mickie's not allowed to have more than like a 5-minute match. So.
Exactly.
Unless it's against Alexa.
Exactly.
Who might be Mickie's best opponent. Who might be Alexa's best opponent, though, overall, is Mickie.
Yeah.
No.
And if it's not
it's
Mickie,
Sasha.
it's Sasha, so.
Right. Her best opponent overall, believe it or not, I actually think is Charlotte.
Yeah.
Alexa.
Yeah.
Or that was at least her best performance to date. Bayley made a hot tag and final choice everyone on her page before Bayley to Bayley nearly spelled the end of the page. The action broke down on ringside. Well, no, I mean, literally, it broke down as it got lost. Mickie and Sasha threw Dumb and Dumber into the barricades. Then Paige hits Bayley with a move I always love for a woman to Rampage. Mandy and Sonya at some point were supposed to get up and throw Mickie and Sasha into the barricades on the poles or apron. Clearly, they didn't want to do that because Paige is hitting the Rampage and Mickie and Sasha are just looking on.
Yeah, they're just literally standing there taunting or saying stuff to the crowd while Bayley and Paige are in the ring.
Bayley's getting pinned.
Paige gets the advantage, hits the Rampage, and the win.
And then Mickie and Sasha look shocked that they lost.
Yeah, then Mandy and Sonya are just awkwardly just stand up and go into the ring.
Yeah. Paige may have scored a victory. This was the Mandy Rose show, though. She did shine, like I said, in certain spots. She nailed down the place with Sasha. I guess this is a testament to some of her training from NXT, I guess.
Yeah.
The match itself was fine for what it was, but in reality it was just the latest chapter in Absolution's Path of Destruction. Where the path ends, no one really knows. Because they creative has not given us nearly enough background to explain much.
It's also a path that doesn't turn or fork either. It's literally the same thing it's been for weeks. Just Absolution, the name. I can go on about how it doesn't make sense. You can watch our past videos for that. But it literally looks like the same thing every week. Either 6-woman tags or
3-on-1 beatdowns.
3-on-1 beatdowns.
And then
there's nothing different done with them each week.
There is a women's Royal Rumble though.
Yeah. Or they can all hold hands, chant yes.
Sing Kumbaya.
Yeah. Bow down to their Queen Stephanie McMahon.
Motherhead.
Yeah. By the way, since we didn't have a video, let's talk about that, because I think that's probably the most talk-worthy thing on that show.
Yeah, definitely. Let me go first.
Go ahead.
I'm fine with the match idea. If it wasn't this group of bookers and creative teams. None of us know yet how many women are in the match. They haven't bothered to say. We don't know if they have any surprise entrants. We don't know if they're over top rope or regular women's battle royal rules, because right now they're just throwing girls through all the ropes to sell the match. That's kind of scary. Each woman has to announce that they're in the Rumble. Well, there's only 19 of you, not count Alexa and Charlotte.
Yeah, there can't be qualifying matches because there's only 19 women.
Yeah, but I'm not even sure why they're bothering having them say, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. You are all in the Royal Rumble.
Minus the champions, they have to be. Even at this point, the champions might be in it.
Right.
Because they haven't said what the Royal Rumble is actually for.
Yeah, it may not be a match for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it is.
Who knows?
But I'm assuming it is. But I can't confirm that either. Right now, the only women in the match confirmed are Naomi, Asuka, Ruby Riott, and I think Natalya. That's it.
Yeah, not the rest of the Wyatt squad either.
Yeah, just those three.
Yeah.
Or four. Yeah.
Alright. I didn't watch last week's episode. I actually found out about it on Twitter. I just skimmed through to see what was happening, just to sort of keep up for this video. I literally looked at it and I saw the GIF of everyone going like, yes, and it said Women's Royal Rumble. I literally just shut off my phone, put it down, just thinking in my head that's the way they introduced this Royal Rumble. Like, it wasn't like Shane and Stephanie sitting in a studio somewhere saying that this year they're going to have 2 Royal Rumbles.
Right.
Or for the first time ever, they're going to have 2 Royal Rumbles. No, they literally had God Stephanie walk out, calm down a fight.
Part of our sale, man.
Have everybody line up in a semicircle around Stephanie. And Stephanie announced that, hey, women are important, women are great, they get a Royal Rumble this year. Yeah, women are great. That's not my that's not my problem with it. It's the fact that, okay, yeah, women are great, and what are you doing? What are you doing? They're literally throwing them into the spotlight, essentially. It was more rah-rah women's revolution stuff to me. And it seemed more like Stephanie's still feeling the burn of AJ Lee tweeting her. Yep. Yeah, well, your women still get paid horribly in your company compared to the men.
Yeah, they do. I think I've seen the most the woman get this a few months back.
Yeah.
Is the highest paid woman's like, well, besides the Bells, of course. I think they're close to $1 million. But that's because of Till Divas, so.
Yeah.
I think their closest is like 200,000-300,000. And I think that's Natalia. Also because of Till Divas. Out of non-Till Divas woman, I think it was like 2 or like 150 or something. Out of non-Till Diva woman, so. And even some of the Till Diva women themselves are on the lower end of pay, too. Like the whole cast is at the top group either.
Yeah.
Some of them are like, I think Alicia, who's been there for years, was still in 5 figures.
Wow.
Like 75, 80,000, I think.
Jeez.
Which is kind of disrespectful if you're keeping her around for reasons.
Yeah. So,
Emma was the lowest paid.
Yeah.
The Emma Summer.
Yeah. Had it been introduced in any other way besides, hey, let's praise Stephanie, and Stephanie's giving these women this glorious gift, and they can do it because they're just as good as men or whatever. Had it been anything else saying that, besides just having the special thing, oh yeah, the women are going to also have a Royal Rumble this year. Had it been any other way in that promo, I probably would have been okay with it. But I literally saw just the moving image of all the women in the ring chanting yes. And I was immediately against it.
This was the only...
Just because I know, look, off the bat, where the booking team's mindset was to introduce that match. How they're going to book it.
This is the only woman's first-time match I was okay with. In terms of, we were actually going to get a storyline for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That was the only one I was okay with if they did the same ones as the men. Not the Hell in Cells, not the Money in the Banks.
You shouldn't do gimmick matches just because of history.
Yeah,
to make history.
This was the one I was actually okay with. Because we would actually have coherent storylines going to WrestleMania for the women for a change. And even then, I gotta start my interest up for it. Because they started at the worst point they could have done.
Yeah.
So, even then they botched that.
It's God Stephanie giving us this great gift.
Right. I'm pretty sure she's winning the Rumble.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm like half expecting Stephanie to walk out.
To be number 20 or 30.
Exactly.
However many women it is. She's the last entry.
Yeah. Because we all bow down to the queen, or whatever.
I just imagine a visual of Stephanie Taylor over Alexa at WrestleMania. Oh my god.
So she can, I guess, snatch ovaries this time.
Can somebody tell me why Alexa was in the ring crying too? She's not in the match.
She may be in the match at this point.
Wait, actually, Alexa and Charlotte did say they had to fight them at WrestleMania.
Oh, Alexa and Charlotte did say
that was those promos that nobody paid attention to. On SmackDown last week for Charlotte, and Alexa this week on Raw, before Asuka kicked her in the head. That's what the promo was about.
Okay, so they pretty much just had them vaguely explain.
Actually, wait, no, Charlotte said the winner fights her.
Yeah, and Alexa came out
and said how this was the greatest moment of the year. And then we had to play the recap.
Alright, but we're getting ahead of ourselves a little
The winner is, from what I know, the winner's fighting Charlotte. Alexa may be in the Rumble.
Alright, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
Alexa Bliss versus Kane was up next. Heath Slater versus Kane was up next.
That would have been a really interesting match.
An attempt by Rhino to tough up Heath Slater. He booked the West Virginian against the Big Red Monster Kane. It took some motivation from the main beast of ringside for Slater to fire for Florida Fist maneuvers. But in the end, Kane scored a victory quickly and decisively with his pounding chokeslam after the match. Rhino got some solid offense in, but ended up being chokeslam as owners Kane walked away victoriously. It always remains to see how long a lower core story such as Slater and Rhino will hold interest in WWE creative. But this was also displayed that not only did this put Rhino's attempt to make Slater tough competitor, it also allowed Kane to look like a dominant badass. Accidentally waste only the Slayer, but to tag team partner as well. A short sweet segment that accomplished two things at once. So that's at least quality television in that regard.
Yeah. It's probably the best King squash there's been since he's been back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rhino and Heath Slater have a storyline that Rhino's trying to make Heath tough so they can keep their jobs. And Kane is just on a destructive path to the WWE champion. or the Universal Championship.
Braun Kane couldn't do much this week because Brock's wasn't there.
So they'll probably do more this week.
Finn Balor versus Kurt Hawkins. Kurt Hawkins citing the feeling of Chris Miracle issued an open challenge to any superstar in the Raw locker room for a match in hopes of distinguishing his 146 match losing streak. First ever Universal Champion Finn Balor challenged a big pop from the Chicago fans. Seeking his first win in 2017, Hawkins took the fight to Balor. He scored a handful of near falls. A double stomp by Balor and a slim blade show thereafter led to the coup de grace and victory for Balor. Why? Why the hell did this match happen? At least the pre-squash match in which Kane obliterated Slater worked to tell the story of Slayer. This had no rhyme or reason for resistance, and the misuse of Balor continues.
Yeah, there were... I didn't get to see this. It was on the Hulu version. And I can see why, because it really doesn't mean anything. They're pretty much just having Finn in a falling circle pattern.
I'm telling you, at this point, Finn on 205 Live doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Yeah, at least he'll be doing something.
Yeah.
Because at this point, they would use Finn, just because, hey, they need somebody there.
Yeah, so... up next, Woken Matt Hardy sends a message to Bray Wyatt. As Bray Wyatt entered the arena, presumably for another one-win promo, the lights came up and Matt Hardy attacked. He cleared Wyatt from the square circle, grabbed the microphone, and left manically as the Reaper's souls looked visibly shaken at the top of the ramp. This was probably my favorite segment overall on the show. The idea behind this was to establish Hardy's ability to match mind game for mind game Wyatt, and did just that. There was no rambling or ranting and no drawn out promos. It was short, sweet, and effective. How effective? During the backstage vignette involving the bar, the loud chant of Hardy, and then delete could be heard drawing out Sheamus and Cesaro's Olia.
Yeah, this was probably at least one of my favorite parts of the show. Again, it was short and effective, like Joe said. Instead of having the back and forth glass breaking and the what's a blah, or whatever that thing does, and going forth between both of them laughing. Instead, it was just Matt outsmarting Bray Wyatt this week, and it's a good thing to start off with Matt outsmarting him first too.
Yeah,
because maybe not everybody knows of the broken Matt Hardy character.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good start.
Up next, Miracle on 34th Street Fight. Cruiserweight champion Enzo Amore, Drew Gulak, and Ari Daivari dressed in holiday garb. Battle Cedric Alexander, Akira Tozawa, and Mustafa Ali, and six-man tag team Miracle on 34th Street Fight. Tozawa Ali whipped out Gulak and Daivari ringside to show had to break with the baby faces clearly rolling. Background commercial, there were hijinks and pointed a gateway to the 054 from Ali. Gulak made a save, but before the little action came down to number one contender Alexander and Cruiserweight champion Amore, Gulak again made a save, wiping Amore out by accident. And during a vicious Candy Cane attack to the back. Candlestick.
Candlestick, I'm guessing, with the swirling pattern now.
Daivari re-entered the battle by Alexander finished him off with a Lombard check to score the win. There was more personality in this one cruiserweight match that has been on display in the division since its inception last year. It was as silly and stupid as expected, but featured some quality high spots to put Alexander over. The latter being significantly more important than anything else accomplished during the battle.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it because it wasn't on the Hulu version, but but I'm just gonna go by what he said. It's good to actually see a little bit more personality into the cruiserweight division, which has been almost soulless the entire time.
Up next is our College Championship match: Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. And passionate, vengeful Roman Reigns seeking payback for his opponent's assault of Dean Ambrose last week. Dean Ambrose's tricep surgery made it looks like it's going to keep him out for 9 months, and big blow to roll. That one changed WrestleMania plans. Oh, and also another injury since she was earlier. Paige suffered some sort of neck issue.
Yeah, I did hear that she walked away from the.
Yeah, they did bring a stretcher out. Sasha botched a kick on her. I like that. But she at least bolted out in her room. So
yeah,
it may just be a stinger or something.
Yeah, let's hope.
But she's out. Those two.
The Insane are screwed.
Yeah. Roman's unloaded on Cena Joe control early portion of Monday's Reconciliation match had to break. The Destroyer worked over Reigns with an assault and slaps and slide headbutt come out of the commercial. Reigns, though, counter Simone drop for a quick 2 count. Reigns followed with a big Superman punch out for a second time, nearly scoring victory. As he suffered a spirit, Joe countered with a kick to the face, and Uranagi earned him a near fall of his own. Joe called Reigns come back in his square circle and locked in the cocaine clutch, a movie I used numerous times to defeat the Big Dog. Mm-hmm. Reigns was unable to reach the ropes and it fell to his back where the danger found something became more apparent with a very patient second. Never one quit the Reigns got hold of the bottom rope. Joe swerved for the middle and top ropes, crashed into Reigns, injuring the left arm of his opponent. The limb became target for Joe, who worked him over and played up the angle involving Ambrose from last week. Reigns unloaded on Joe in the corner and shoved the referee with emotion getting the best of him. This was disqualification. Joe may have won the match and Reigns delivered a big Syrian punch to send Joe to the floor. He punched Joe to target the arm of his rival, a receipt of source for the ambush to Ambrose. Handful referees to the ringside area and eventually separated them. This was the match that night I fought for real. As it tends to be anymore. The match itself did not live up to their previous encounters, but it really was so. Instead, this was a way to put tenacity for Ferocity of Reigns, who is no longer willing to let Joe get the best of anyone else from repercussions. The arm work featured late. Left me wondering will there not be some sort of day match with them in Philly at the Rumble.
Yeah.
But right now, next is doing a match this upcoming Monday overall for the Intercontinental Championship where Roman's DQ'd. He loses the championship. But I'm assuming they're going to have a match at the Royal Rumble in Philly. What that will be is unclear, but probably a street fight. But the fact that much was made, if he should start turning on his arm, maybe an indicator of things that come to.
I thought the segment was really good. It wasn't my favorite match of the night. I think for me that comes a little later in the tag match. But I am going to give this match props though, because it actually feels like a fresher feud for Roman, both opponent wise and the booking of it.
What, Roman feels like the face for a change?
Yeah, that he actually feels like the face you can get behind. They're even booking him correctly. In the backstage promo, he didn't have a long-winded monologue with Kurt Angle. He literally just walked in and just stared at Angle, and Angle knew what he wanted and gave it to him because it was Christmas. And I guess Angle's a nice, pleasant boss to give gifts like that for his employees.
What's the point of the title match?
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Wonderful gift.
But I think Roman more or less wanted Samoa Joe, though.
Chicago was kind of nicer, too.
Yeah.
To Roman. His boos weren't as loud.
He got a mixed reaction, but it wasn't as
strong as Chicago will give it him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they found
the balance between his
the next path of Roman actually being their top face.
Yeah.
And equally getting that reaction.
Right. And for the fans,
just have him go out there and have him have good matches.
And for the fans, it's one of those.
It's the same formula that worked with Cena, so.
And for the fans, it's one of those steps, denial. Now we're in the acceptance stage.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean Roman for the last. Acho, we can probably go as far as 6 months.
Right.
maybe even farther this year. That a lot of times he's actually had match of the night.
Yeah.
So it's just a continuing trend of Roman Reigns this year.
Up next is a Secret Santa match with one of the guys that Roman's had a chemistry with all year. Braun Strowman versus the Miz Taraj. Chris Axel Bo Dallas continuing their Christmas Carol on Monday Night in the ring. Eager for a Secret Santa match booked by Royal John Master Triangle. The opponent will be a secret but not for long, the Monster Among Men. Turn Dallas inside with a nice clothesline and Axel experiences the same sort of pain and punishment. Shortly thereafter, Sherman made short work of the teams, earned the victory with a Royal Power Slam. The annoying power was precise quickly and entertainingly by one of the top contenders for the Universal Championship. That's all about the spine going for it. Next.
Yeah, Braun destroyed stuff. Next.
Alexa Bliss promo.
And their carols were kind of funny too. So.
Roll's Women's Champion Alexa Bliss very well in the ring, if you knew she was the champ. And it wasted a little time or opportunity in taking credit for the first ever Women's Rumble.
Yeah, she found her belt this week.
Yeah, she actually is taking credit for the Women's Rumble, so she may actually be in the Rumble.
The winner fight Charlotte. I mean,
yeah.
Simple.
So it might be an even 20 then.
Yeah.
If they do that. This brought Asuka has got to a personal Women's Champion at this point. Then was Samara officially announced her entry into the Rumble, and then laid Bliss out with a steel kick. If this was later in the year, the segment worked as if they were feuding. Since it happened now, where I'm not even sure this is going to be the title match.
Yeah.
Because it looks like they've only been doing Asuka and Paige. So, to do it now, I'm not really sure what point it did, other than they forgot to put Alexa on the show. And they just, instead of having Asuka squash random...
Yeah, it feels like they forgot to put Asuka and Alexa on the show.
So instead of having Asuka squash Alicia or Dana again, just got out there and kicked the champ in the head. Alexa's the super talker. She did carry this whole unnecessary segment. That there was no appearance by Nia.
Yeah.
Though she says she interrupted Nia's kiss with Enzo backstage, saying she needed her. Clearly she did. Despite Alexa clearly interrupted them to talk about the Women's Rumble, you made less sense. Asuka in the match could have been accomplished in a number of ways in a short, uneventful segment.
Yeah. It probably shouldn't have gone down like that. I thought Alexa, before she said the best moment of the year was probably the women's match. I thought she was actually cutting a pretty good heel promo, which is usually par for the course for her. It seems more or less that Asuka and Alexa are going to happen sooner than later from this promo.
Yeah.
Or maybe we were looking too deep into it. Maybe it was just something to get both of them onto the show on a holiday show.
Which makes it worse. It's like they're two top women.
Yeah. So it's. I guess I'll think about it better, depending what they do on it going forward. But since it's also adding to the Royal Rumble, Women's Royal Rumble match, which I didn't think had a good start.